So for those of you that can see what's on my screen, please leave a thumbs up, any kind of comment will go along with in helping me know that you can hear everything clearly. And yes, time for us to begin is now. So welcome once again. My name is Kenneth Ntende, and this webinar is brought to you by a company called Trembi. I'm going to have some more details on this. But before we dive in, let me just introduce myself a little bit. My name is Kenneth Ntende, and for those that don't know, for those that may be hearing from me for the first time, I have been in the world of sales over the last 14 years. Now, I've been fortunate enough to work not only as a sales rep, meaning you're the guy on ground looking for the sales on a day-to-day, but I've been able to work as a sales manager, meaning you're managing your entire team to drive results from them. And to top all that off, I've also been a business owner. So at different levels, I understand what you're going through, whether you're a sales rep, whether you're a sales manager, whether you're a business owner in charge of sales and marketing. To top all that off, additionally, I've also had the chance from about 2018, I've been training several companies from the likes of Pesapa, the likes of Tripesa, the likes of Dusupe. I've had the chance to work with over 500 companies where I sit down with different teams and all we do is talk about sales and how do we improve our processes. And one more addition, I'm also the founder of a company called Trembi.com, which is sales and marketing software company. And because we run this company, it means we get the chance to interact with salespeople each and every day. Meaning we'll wake up to talk sales, we continue sales, and so it will be sales upon sales upon sales the entire day, the entire night. Now that is what gives me the expertise to be talking to you about this issue. And for those that have any questions, please feel free to interject. We have a Q&A section. And we have a chat section as well, so you can leave any questions that you have and we'll be able to respond to them. Just to know that you guys are here, you could maybe leave a chat, any comment of I can hear you, so that in case I'm off at any point in time, at least I'm able to keep track. This webinar is brought to you by a company called Trembi. Trembi is a powerful sales and marketing software. We provide a tool that helps you get leads, engage these leads, qualify them, close, ideally everything within the sales process. We provide tools for you to help with automating the entire sales process. So if you're out there and you're a single man team and you're looking for money, how do I empower myself, get more sales? We can have a conversation after this, but more on this later. Now, for those that don't know, this webinar is literally about what our journey within sales has been like. Over the last month, we were able to exceed 100 million for the very first time. And this very month, we are at par, we're almost surpassing that mark already, meaning we're going to get way past that number. Now, the purpose of that conversation is not to show off or to give you some kind of perception about me. No, it's for us as business owners, as salespeople, to kind of learn what we can do within our very own systems, because whatever we did for our case was not really that complicated. And if it worked for me, I don't see a reason as to why it shouldn't be working for you. Now, what the purpose of this is, we're just going to be talking about what exactly did we do. I'm going to dive deep into the tools that we are talking about. I'm not just going to talk on the surface and say, oh, do this, do the other, do this. No, it is, here's what we did, here is how we did it. These are the kinds of results and the proof that actually shows that these are the results that we got. And if you deploy the same, you will be able to move a lot further. So the purpose of this is just for us to learn. I know all of us here are business owners, all of us here are entrepreneurs or sales reps. So our job at the end of the day is, man, we all need sales. We all need sales. And if there is a way you can use the tools that we're going to propose to help you grow, then why not, man? At the end of the day, the more the money you can make, the more the money you will be in position to actually give me for some of our tools. Yes, so let's dive right in and get you started. For anyone at any point in time, in case you're not hearing, please leave a Q&A. a question, a chat, and I'll be able to reconnect. Any questions you have, you can let me know. I will still be in position to turn you on and you ask a question so that everyone will be in position to hear you. But let's get started. Now, at the beginning of last year, I was like many of the business owners that are here. In my head, I kind of perceived that maybe when I do more or we invest more money in adverts, we should anticipate to get more sales. Now, what we decided to do at the beginning of the year, we decided to go very, very, very hard. That was last year. We raised about $5,000. We decided to invest every month. We are going to put $2,000 in ads. We went ahead and deployed that. To top all that off, if you check out some of our channels, especially my personal channel, I share a lot of content every single day. I'm putting out 4 videos, 5 videos on sales. In addition to that, SEO. Now, what we were targeting is, do you know what we are going to do is we're going to do a lot more. We're going to produce a lot more content, spend a lot more money. And in spending this money, we were hoping that maybe when we spend more, we would get more at the end of the day. But what was happening for our case, keep in mind that we're a service-based business. It's not necessarily, we're not like a product-based business where if you spend more money, you would automatically get more sales. As an example, if you're in the world of construction, keep in mind that that is what they call a sales-driven organization, not marketing-driven. So even if you spend more money in adverts, it's not really that you spending money on adverts that gets you the sale. It is the meetings, the meeting up, following up with a customer is what helps you actually close the business at the end of the day. So you spending more in terms of adverts doesn't guarantee that because I've spent more, I'm going to automatically get. Now, what happened is we were spending more. Yes, the leads were coming in, to be honest, but at the end of the day, the leads that we would get, we would only close like a small percentage. Maybe say you get 100, of the 100, we would end up converting 3, 4 of them. And most importantly, after getting 100 leads and spending getting these 4, 5 leads every day, people paying, the amount of money they're also giving us was extremely small. Despite how much we were spending, despite how much we were doing, at the end of the day, we looked very, very, very busy until we began to look into the funds. That what is going wrong? We are spending so much, we are putting in so much effort, we are putting in so much time, people are coming, but at the end of the day, you're just not seeing the month. A month where you made 15, 20 million was a good one. So that's when we started to think, no, something must be wrong. This entire model of doubling down on money, because we've done it 1, 2, 3, we're in month number 6. Month number 6 of spending literally thousands of dollars. And after 6 months, there's still not much that has broken through the chain. We did everything. You're adjusting the videos, you're doing better videos, you're creating more content, and we were just not breaking the pillar of what was happening. Now, that is what prompted us. To be honest, the first thing we noticed why the model was not working is, number one, we were focused too much on marketing as opposed to how our process of enterprise sales works. It's more sales driven rather than marketing driven. For those of you that don't know the difference, a sales driven organization is, look at it more or less like a service based business. Yes, you can advertise, but it's not the advertising that gets you the money. Yes, the advertising will get you the lead, but what actually gets the money out of the person's pocket is the subsequent meetings you'll have when you meet that person, following up with that person, then they will eventually give you the money. Whereas a marketing-driven organization, as an example, if I was selling soda is a very straightforward product. You don't need to explain much. So there you are allowed to throw in as much money in adverts because you don't need to explain much. It's that if it's a shoe, as an example, put it out there. It will be very easy for the normal person to know that this is a shoe. You have my size, and they will close it. But for anyone that is in a service-based business, I'm talking construction, I'm talking accounting, I'm talking anything software related, as long as it's service driven, then your journey is more of a sales driven approach rather than a marketing driven approach. Now, what we were doing back then, number one, we were doing more of marketing driven than sales driven. Then the second issue we were facing is we were looking so much for the result. I mean, you've just got the lead now. We've not talked to them. We've not immediately we get the lead and they fill in a form. The first thing we do is try and sell to them. Go to the phone, try and squeeze as much money out of them. Truth is, yes, we were getting the leads. Yes, we were advertising quite a bit. Yes, in fact, we were closing the amount of money. We were getting good money. To be honest, on a day-to-day, you would get about 3-4 sales. That's on the good days. On the bad days, you would probably get one. But at the end of the day, you would go into the bank and you begin to say that, you know what, it looks like we're doing a lot of work. We're putting in a lot of effort. What is going on? Like, where is the problem? Why aren't we seeing proper wealth and proper money being generated? Now, that is what pushed us to kind of do a bit more research. I personally was able to go ahead and begin to research and get to understand what are the other people who have succeeded and are making lots of money doing. As a starting point, I went to and started learning from brands like Shopify. I started learning from brands like Salesforce. I started learning from Indian brands like Zoho, just to see for them when they were at our level. Yes, they are making millions now, but when they were at my level, what were they doing? I mean, for us, we're a startup, we're 2-3 years old. At that level, what were those companies doing and how can we replicate whatever they're doing? I stopped this entire thing of thinking I'm very, very brilliant and I'm going to come up with these new strategies. Like, you know what? I know successful companies that have thrived. What did those successful companies do? And as opposed to me gambling and trying to figure things out on my own, I was like, I think it may make sense for me to kind of just replicate what they were doing. Now, just to break it down for you, from right here, you can see for our use case, we were just doing a two-step model. We were attracting the people who are using our sales AI to attract the people who are running some ads and doing some cold calling and content. A lot of content. That was what was helping us attract the leads to us. Now, the moment the leads came in, we didn't even bother. We went straight for the kill. I mean, we wanted money now. So we went to step number 2, which is where we want to close immediately. Our job was, now the lead has come in. Now that the lead is here, let us close this sale. But what we didn't notice was happening is, yes, you've got the lead, but even if the person has filled in a form, even if they've come to you on TikTok and shared a message with you, even if they've come to your WhatsApp, it's the first time they're interacting with you. Yes, they may have come to you, but it doesn't mean they know you or the full extent of what you can do for them. And because we were missing that information, we imagined that because this person has dropped you a message, they probably already know you, they know what we have to offer. Our job was just to get the money out of them. But to compare that to the people that we aspired to be like, their process was a little bit different. I mean, for the attraction, they were doing what we were doing. I mean, the things are the same. You're either using AI or you're doing content, or you're doing cold calling and cold outreach. That idea is the same. For the attraction, many of them were doing exactly the same things. By the way, for those of you that don't know about these 7 ways that you can get sales, all the 7 ways that you can get sales for your business, that top attraction level, you could just leave me a message here. I'll send you a link. We did a full video just talking about everything, all the options you have to attract customers to you. But after attracting the customer, that is where, for us, we were getting it wrong. We were going for the kill immediately. I mean, we wanted the sale right there and right now. The thing that the people we aspired to be like were doing, they added a layer called engaging or nurturing. What nurturing was, is you're moving this person from a point where they don't know anything about you to a point where they feel comfortable with you, they feel they know you, they feel like you're the guy to help them get rid of the problem that they have. Ironically, what is required of that nurturing is just literally a series of messages. I mean, someone has come to me for the first time, they're asking about, yeah, I'm having some challenges with sales. So instead of me going straight into, here's my solution, buy it from me, I kind of share with them more helpful information. Things like, you know what, yes, I understand you have a bit of a challenge, but check out this video that could help you pinpoint where your sales challenge is coming from. It looks like something very, very, very small, but what it's doing in the person's head is it's reinforcing the decision. This number 2 of nurturing, it's reinforcing the decision of, man, you have come with this problem, but I'm sharing this free information to just help you know how to solve your problem. But in me helping you know how to solve a bit of your problem, it's positioning me as I understand what I'm doing, even before we have had a conversation of how I can be in position to help you solve your problem. So for those of you that are listening, you can leave me a thumbs up if you're still hearing clearly. If you have any questions, please feel free to interject. At any point in time, I will be able to. Yes, for the person that is asking, is this is recorded? It's being recorded. It will be uploaded on the Tremby channel. So we'll be taking it live. Now, like I said, initially, what we were doing is we wanted to attract and convert. What we were missing is how do we nurture someone within the middle there, so that even before we come to try and convert them, they already consuming content from us, which is going to help them know that, first of all, number one, we are the guys who understand the problem that he has. Then number two, there is a reason as to why he should trust us, because either we're showing him stuff of how other people who are in his industry have trusted us, or the kinds of work that we have resolved for other people. So the job at that engagement level, engagement and nurturing are exactly the same, was just to how do we build trust with this person before we come to try and convert them. Now, what we did is, the moment I looked at this graph, like the one you're seeing right here on the screen, is we were very good at attraction, but after attraction, we just wanted to convert. Now, because we're skipping an extra layer here of gaining trust, people's trust, whoever we were converting was not willing to spend a lot of money. I mean, I've just known you for the first time. Yes, you're selling to me, but whatever you're telling me may just be normal sales lingo. So I'm going to risk little money. Instead of where I would have given you 3.5 million shillings, I'm going to give you 500K, because I'm testing. I don't know you. I don't trust you yet. So what that was doing is, of the 100 people we would gather, instead of closing 20, we would end up closing 3 to 4 of them. Because, like I said, we had not built trust with anyone. Now, at the bottom of the funnel right here, the purple thing, you can see there was also a layer called retention. Now, I think in our heads, many of us will just imagine that when people want to refer business, they'll just know that, oh, hey, this is my friend here, he's called Stuart, I refer business. But it just doesn't happen that way. Yes, you might get a few referrals, but they will be too few. So it's your job as a business to also figure out what are some of the retention strategies that I keep incentivizing people to refer people to me. Because the moment you don't do it, it means you're leaving, should I say, everything to luck. And sometimes leaving it to luck, yes, it might work out, but I always believe the moment you incentivize something and push people to take action, you end up getting more results just by a little bit of pushing, a few messages that are going out. Now, this created the foundation of how we needed to just restructure our entire company. I always tell people that, man, sales is the engine that drives money into your organization. It's how you survive as a business. So it is important you understand, number one, how it's structured. And most importantly, number two, yes, I'm talking about attraction, but what happens under attraction? Yes, I'm talking about engagement / nurturing, but what happens inside there? So your job as a business owner, if you're one, or your job as a salesperson, is to know how to handle and make each of these wheels work for you. And in the next section, we're just going to be talking about each and every one of these things. I mean, how do we attract people? How do we engage people? What are some of the nurturing things that we do? Give us real life scenarios, because some of you have never done this before. So my job is to kind of enlighten you on how it would actually work. And that is what we're getting into next. All right, so at the next layer, like I said, I'm just going to break for you each and every one of these stages of the sales process. By the way, if you need any clarity on any of them, please just leave me a Q&A. I'm going to keep checking to see if there are any questions. Then I'll be able to answer any of them. So I will start with attraction. Now, what attraction is simply, how do I attract people to myself, to my business? It is the first phase of every sales cycle. I mean, if you don't attract people to you, it means no matter how many closes you want at layer number 4, I mean, you haven't even brought the first person to come and look at you. So the job here is just to figure out, what do I need to be doing to attract people to me? So what you would do here at this phase, there are about 7 ways that you can attract people to you. I'm going to run this through very, very quickly. I have a full video. So if you're interested in each and every one of these ways, that details, the real details, you can leave me a comment there. I will send that to you. In attraction, there are about 7 ways that you can attract people to you. The first way you can attract people to you is what they call outbound outreach. Outbound outreach is where you say, every day we are going to reach out to a certain number of people, and we are either going to call them, or we are going to WhatsApp them, or our job is going to be to wake up, talk to people. As an example, part of what we do at our company, we do a lot of outbound outreach. In fact, we are a team of 4 sales guys, and each of us, our job is to reach out to 50 new people every day. 15 new, I'm not saying following up, I'm saying 50 new people. What we do is between 9 and 11, we sit here as a team, and person number 1 will begin calling his people. Person number 2 will begin calling those people. Keep in mind that we very well know that, yes, we're talking to 50 people, but we very well know that some of these people are not going to pick up. Some of these people are going to abuse us and even call us scams. Because, I mean, you're talking about AI. Okay, well, some of them may not want to listen to you. Some of them are going to say they are busy. But what we are betting on is, if I can talk to 50 people, I'm targeting that of the 50 people, even if I get 5 that give me their attention, and from the 5, I have 3 that have given me money over the next month, the revenue I'm going to make from those 3 is going to be at least on the smallest case scenario, is going to be at least 500,000, meaning that will be 500 times 3 people. So I'm willing to take all the rejection if I stand a chance to get some 3-5 people that have given us money at the end of the day. Keep in mind that sales is literally percentages game. They always tell us it's a game of chance, meaning the more the opportunity you create for yourself, the higher the likelihood that you're going to succeed. When you wake up and talk to 10 people, and we talk to 200 people, from the 200 people, we won't be surprised when we have some 10 that have given us money, but it's because we have taken the initiative to, number 1, know where to get the contacts from. Number 2, know what to say within this conversation, so that once I get on the phone and the person is abusing me, or he doesn't want to give me a listening ear, how do I maneuver and move my tongue to get them to understand that, man, what I'm offering is valuable to them, and it might make more sense for them to listen to me. And number 3, what happens after that phone conversation is done? So like I said, the first option is what they call outbound outreach. This is one, still on topic number 1, which is attraction. The second option of attracting customers to yourself is by creating content. There are some people who choose to create content. As an example, for us, if you check any of my TikTok profiles, any of our YouTube, whether business or personal, you'll find that every day we share about 4 or 5 videos in total. Now, what we are doing within these videos is telling people that, man, you know what, we have solved this problem. If you have this problem, here is how to maneuver it. But the essence of these videos is we're sharing these videos, and as part of the sharing, we're telling people that, man, if you're looking for solutions, please leave us with your number. If you're looking for a way of learning how to structure your sales process, leave us with your number. Now, what the role of that content is number one, to raise awareness, to help us attract the people that we know have a problem. Then number two, to help us get their information, their phone numbers, their emails, because the only way that you know someone belongs to you is when you have their names, their number, their email, they're filled in a form somewhere. So that is the second option of attraction. The third alternative is using what they call artificial intelligence tools. These are just tools where you literally tell the AI, do you know what? I sell to people who are in construction. Look for all of them for me. It does the looking, gets you their numbers, gets you their emails, messages them for you. So you kind of outsource your process to an artificial intelligence tool, automate the whole process for you. The fourth option is, of course, the ads. The ads, I'm sure many of you have seen Facebook ads, have seen LinkedIn ads. So that is also another good avenue. Some radio ads, I'm sure many of you have had them, TV ads, just run promotions, and those promotions, put in your phone numbers, people will come to you. The job at that layer is, what am I doing as a business to intentionally drive people to me? Some people tend to want to focus on referrals, but yes, referrals are good, but they're not really controlled by you. They are controlled by another person who probably meets another customer. I always want, yes, have the referrals as option number 5, but in addition to referrals, do something else as a business and know that, man, for us every day we create content here for videos, and we know that once we do it well and at a large enough scale, we will be able to attract who we need to. All right, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop it there. For those of you that are more interested, there are 7 ways I could, whoever has left me a comment here, I'm going to send the link of all the different 7 ways that you can use to get sales. Now, after you have attracted, that is now where we go to step number 2. Step number 2 is what they call nurturing. Nurturing means what information do I need to send to this person who I have attracted to help them trust me and convince them that I am the right person for the job. Ideally, what happens at this phase is your job is just to think about, what is my journey with my prospective customers like? As an example, if you're in the world of construction, yes, you might get a lead, but sometimes your construction leads take a while. The person who wants to construct in 2026, they've started making plans now. So your job is to think about that. If my average sales cycle is 8 months, so what do I need to be communicating with this prospective lead, so that even if it's going to take me 8 months, at the end of the day, every month, every 2 weeks, this person is receiving something helpful from me to them, to keep inducing it in their heads that, man, I am the right person for the job. So your job is to just think about, what are the different journeys that you have. I'm going to break it down a little bit further after we get done with taking each and every one of these down. I'm going to show you how for us we do it, so that you can maybe mimic those journeys. Because like I said, what we're replicating is just what the larger corporations are doing. And if they're choosing to attract people, then nurture them, it makes sense that you do it, because, I mean, the guy that is making $1 million plus is doing it. So why would you, who is not do it? It means there could be something you're missing. Now, after you have nurtured, the next phase is to qualify. Not everyone who gives you their number is ready to buy from you. They may want to buy from you, yes, but they may be more interested 6 months down the road. So don't try and get money from them now. So the third thing you need to have in place is a system to help you qualify that, who may be more interested in my product now? Who can I pursue now? And what indicators do I have to show that now is the time to be attacking this person? So that was the third thing that many of those larger corporations were doing. Then, of course, number 4 is what they call closing. Keep in mind that I'm benchmarking on this graph, just to keep us very aware of what different stages are entailed. Now, and eventually, that's where we go into retention. Now, for our case, like I said, attraction was very, very good. We're getting such a large number of leads. I mean, we have an AI that is literally picking us all the leads we need from any part of the world. So attracting people wasn't really our issue. Closing people was not really that much of a challenge because I mean, the team was properly well trained. Now, where we had challenges were in these three areas. Area number 2, which was nurturing, and area number 3, which was qualifying, and area number 5, which was retention. Now, what we opted to do is, you know what, let's fix those issues because, like I said, we had the leads coming in. What we were just not seeing is, again, the money that was coming out at the end of that day. That was what was giving us a hard time. And we figured, you know what, we might as well fix those 3 components. How do we focus on nurturing people better? How do we qualify people better? And how do we drive better retention at the end of the day? And that is what brought us to the next thing of now, how do you nurture people? Yes, I'm talking about nurturing, but what actually happens? Now, from doing further research, I began to understand what actually happens within nurturing and qualification and retention. And the one thing that stood out is people are using what they call marketing automation tools. I went ahead and signed up for some of the tools. Unfortunately, many of them were expensive. You would end up spending $1,500, $800. And I noticed for the normal African business, it may not make sense for you to make such an investment. What we opted to do is we decided to design our very own marketing automation platform. And the job is, like I said, to help us automate a lot of the nurturing. I'm getting 100, 200, 300 leads. So how do I keep all these leads excited and happy and continuously engaged the whole month? That was what our goal was. Now, that was about the time we launched the marketing automation platform. And in the next section, I'm just going to give you part of what we did. And so maybe you can replicate whatever we did in your business as well. Keep in mind that I'm still available. You can check the Q&A or the chat section. I'm seeing some questions here. But for whoever leaves a question, I'm going to be in position to respond to that. Now, for our case, what we did, step number 1 was to kind of understand what is your journey with your prospective customer like. Like I said, to many people, they think you're just supposed to get a lead today, and immediately the lead comes in, you talk to him, you close, you're done and dusted. But one thing I've come to appreciate is not every lead is ready to buy from you at a given point in time. Say, for example, I get 100 new leads today. It doesn't mean that all these 100 are going to give me money. In fact, of the 100, this month I might only get money from 4 or 5 of them. But if I kept talking to them with relevant information, over the next 6 months, I'm going to convert 20 out of the 100 people. So our first job was to kind of figure out what does the customer journey look like for different kinds of industries. Now, for our case, the first thing we did was look at industry-specific information. As an example, we sell to school owners, we sell to real estate companies, we sell to construction companies. So we created journeys for now when we're selling to, as an example, a school owner, what does that journey look like? Which information would that person will need to receive from us to trust us? Say I've just got his phone number today, what should I send first? That is what coming up with a journey looks like. As an example, I might say, you know what, dear school owner, my name is Kenneth. We help businesses, we help schools like yours get parents and increase enrollments for the school. So the first message, keep in mind that I've customized it for exclusively schools, but the job is, I want, by the time I call this person, let him have had good enough information to trust me. So the first message I've sent, the first WhatsApp is, you know what, thank you for reaching out. Here's some more information to help guide you. Then after about 1, 2, 3 days, I'm going to send another message asking the gentleman, thank you for reaching out to us last time. I was able to send you a video last time. I don't know, were you able to check out that video? Oh, if you are able to do it, then check out how some of the other schools are using our software. Now, the essence of these communications, like I said, is to build this person's trust. I don't want to just check out what we're doing, come and buy from us, here's what we can give you. No, I want to talk to this person, yes, but I want to talk to them after I have slowly convinced them that, you know what, this makes sense. After a couple of days, I'm still going to check on them. and give them something else that is extremely helpful. Don't worry, I'm going to show you some real-time case scenarios of what exactly for us we do, so that you see how our journeys look like within the marketing automation platform. But step number one was to, first of all, visualize those journeys. So when I'm talking to a construction company, what information do they need to receive? What should be their first WhatsApp? What should be their first email? When next should I follow up? And when I'm following up, what should I say? Say you're a contractor, you're selling to someone who is in retail, and you know that it takes you 8 months for that person to usually turn into a customer. So what should you be sending them in month 1? What should you be sending them in month 2? How should you be following up in month 3? And after you have come up with this entire journey, that is now when you go into the marketing automation platform to kind of set up these different journeys. Now, why we use a platform to help us is because keep in mind that when you're interacting with people, it always looks like you're doing a small job, but let me just use a normal figure. In a day, you might maybe talk to 10 to 20 people. I'm going to use the number 20. Now, tomorrow again, you'll talk to another 10 to 20. The other day, you'll talk to another 10 to 20. By the end of the first week, you'll quickly realize that you have engaged 100 people. So 100 people, and each of them have given you a different call to action. This one I said, do this. The other one I said, I'm coming back in the country. The other one I said, his own things. Now, what would happen is crisscross this through the second week and the third week. It means by the third week, you're going to have spoken to 300 people. Now, 300 people, keeping track and re-engaging them and following up with them is going to be a hard job if you choose to remember that now I need to remember to send this person a message today, tomorrow. That is why companies abroad tend to use marketing automation tools. And that is why I always recommend that even you as a local business, the advantage with these tools, some of them are even free. So whatever I'm going to show you, you could even deploy and get started today without any cost implications on you. Now, for our case, what I'm going to do, let me first dive into the actual marketing automation platform, then just show you some of how exactly we set up these journeys so that you have a better understanding what I'm talking about. So just allow me to stop sharing this, and I share the next. So I'm sharing my screen. So you can leave me a comment if you can see my account. All right. So for our case, what we decided to do within the platform, we decided to create what they call marketing automation journeys. I'm kind of giving you our real life case scenario of what exactly we do as us. So inside these tools, you will be able to create something of the sort where you have like, I want to send an email, I want to send a WhatsApp. After sending that email, I want to wait 3 days, and after waiting 3 days, I want to add a person to a list. Now, what you're doing here is giving the system an understanding of this is what I would have wanted. Here's how I would have wanted to interact with my prospective customer. So I'm going to give you the instruction and connect my WhatsApp to you or my email to you, so that as opposed to me being the one to do it, let me give you the instruction as the software and you do it for me. Check on this person for me, because I know I may need to check on this person after 4 days, after 10 days, after a month. But after that month, I will have other things I am doing as a human being. So I may forget to follow up on you. And if I'm doing it across 100, 200, 300 people, it gets extremely difficult for me to keep track of who I need to be following it up. And when you go back to the basics, at the end of the day, what sales tells you is mine. The best way to get the sales is don't focus on closing. Get the lead, engage them, follow up, nurture them, because most people just end up losing whatever sales they would have made at nurturing. Now, if you very well know that is where most people end up losing their sales, then just fix it. Use this tool. The advantage, like I said, our marketing automation tool, just search for the Trendy Marketing Automation. It's free. There are no monthly charges. In fact, the only things you pay for are things like your SMSs, because I made those on behalf of, or You have to pay for your WhatsApp because that money doesn't really come to us. It goes to those people. So whatever we're talking about here, you can deploy starting today. As an example, if you're in e-commerce, people are going to come to your website. People are going to come to your WhatsApp saying, you know what, I'm interested in this. And they go away. You leaving that person to just go away means, and you don't interject and give them discounts and promos after that, means they're never going to come back. They will forget, they will get busy with their life. So your job is create that journey and know if the person hasn't checked out, what should I do? Create that journey for them. If you're in construction and you know that your sales cycle is long, think about what your whole journey is and begin to create the different messages that will help you reach out to these people and automate it at once so that you don't have to think about it. But at the end of the day, the person will still receive a WhatsApp from your number talking about whatever it is that you wanted to communicate to them. And at the end of the day, that's what matters in sales. Get the lead, engage them, follow up. Now, for our case, like I said, what we did is we decided to build the tool. We have a ton of tutorials on how to use this. In fact, for those of you that have received a WhatsApp from me, you could use that very number to send me a message. I will be able to better advise you on how to deploy marketing automation within your organization. But at the core of what created our change is initially we were doing a lot of work. But it was all, I get the lead, I try to close, get the lead, and regardless of how much more we did, it was rare that we even exceeded 30 million. The only time we started to see a change is when we started adding that layer of trust. Get the person to trust you, and trust just comes from one thing: send helpful information to people, lead them down the funnel, and that is what marketing automation does for you. It helps you nurture every single person. Now, what happened after that? The advantage with these platforms is after you've created these marketing automation journeys, keep in mind that they will send real-time information to people. They will send helpful information to people. And most importantly, they will also begin to track for you which of these people that you're sending helpful information to seems like they are more interested. Who is clicking the links, who is opening your emails, who is sharing them and watching your videos on WhatsApp. So it will kind of give you the preview of, man, we have communicated to 100 people. These are our leads. Of the ones we have talked to, these ones are not yet ready because they haven't loved what we are doing. But these ones are a little bit warm. And of the warm ones, you can even see what exactly they have been doing and how they've been interacting with us and all the information surrounding how they are interacting with you. Are they opening your messages? Have they visited your website? Now, for those of you, those people that have even gone ahead and visited your website, the system will curate that information and tell you, you know what? Here is who you need to be focusing on first. So what this would mean is now you will be able to interact with literally hundreds and thousands of people, and it will all be happening in the background because there's a system in the background that is doing everything for you. Your job is let's get the lead, put them in the system. The system does talking to them, following up, checking on them again, doing whatever, which is what is termed as nurturing, the nurturing that we were talking about. The nurturing that we were talking about right here at this level. Now, once you finish this engagement, again, let it help you qualify so that by the time you come to convert, to now talk to this person that, you know what, let's have a conversation to see if we can close. I could guarantee you that was the only thing we deployed. We didn't change how often we were calling because the same 2 hours we were doing back then and the same 2 hours we are doing now. Because we call between 9 and 11. That's the time we're making sales phone calls. From midday is when we're having sales meetings. So nothing has changed. But all that has happened is because we're now nurturing people a little bit more. At the end of the day, by the time you get to talk to a person, the person already knows you, the person already trusts you. The same person that would have given you 500,000 is like, do you know what? Let me just make this commitment because I know long term I'm going to need this. Like I said, many of you here own agencies, many of you own marketing agencies, many of you own construction companies. And the difference between you getting like a small sale of $1,000 and you getting 10,000 is just one thing. Get the person to believe that you know what you're doing and get the person to trust you. And that loop is just about a series of communications. Those communications can be done at scale using a marketing automation tool. But yes, in a nutshell, that is what we did as us. And the moment we deployed that, immediately we started seeing the turnover. We used to, on average, sell about 500K, but we moved away. We no longer sell 500K. It's rare that someone even gives you 500K nowadays because people are more willing to commit to what we have to offer because we've talked them through, we've helped them understand why they need to be trusting us and why this journey is worth taking with us. Now, like I said, our internal operations did not change much. All we did was just work on the trust. And we found that the best way to work on the trust is just talk to a person. Send him a WhatsApp. How you send it, whether it's AI doing it for you, whether it's yourself, is really up to you. But why we choose to use our AI and marketing automation tool is because it can do it at scale. It can talk to thousands of people. And I know that once I'm able to engage thousands of people at the same time, sending helpful information that varies depending on who is interested, at some point something is going to break. As I'm talking to person number 1, I'm talking to person number 60, to person number 80, and all of it is happening without me being the one to keep talking to people manually on WhatsApp or my email. Let the system do it for me, and it leaves the rest of the work, which is now closing to me. That is what I will focus on. The same thing I was doing earlier. So yes, when it comes to results, truth be told, our trust levels have gone up. We have more genuine conversations with people. I'm even going to share my screen just to show you some real people that came from the AI. The AI literally looked for the customer for me, and that person became a customer. I'm going to show you some live examples. In fact, let me do this right now. Let me just share my screen once more. As you can see, let me get some random messages. As an example, I hope you guys can still see me. Okay, I'm just getting some of the top messages I have here. As an example, this gentleman called Imara, I had no idea. I had never reached out to him. He's an architect. So the AI looked for the lead. The AI is actually the one that sent this message on my behalf. The person responded because for them on their side, they would never know that it's an AI that has sent them the message. They would just think it's you that has shared the message. So we are able to actually schedule a meeting. As you can see, this is live. Then we were able to, he sent me directions to his office in Old Kira Road. It's a real conversation that was had with someone. After that, we gave me proper directions. We met at 12. We literally completed the entire process. But all of this came with very minimal input from me. Like I said, that's the beauty of automation. It can do so much. It can put you in tens of thousands of people's contacts without you ever lifting a finger. And everyone is going to think you're the one messaging them. And ultimately, that's what sales requires of you. The more you can do, as in a month, we're talking to 4,000 people. From 4,000 people, it's not a surprise that we're getting 10 people. But why we are able to do this is because we now understand what is supposed to happen. Number one, how do we get the leads? We know what exactly to do. When the leads come in, how are we managing the calls? How are we doing the meetings? How is the whole structure working from top to bottom? What is happening across each and every one of these stages? And for those that need assistance, there are 3 ways we can be in position to help you. Way number 1 is, man, if you're out there and you're struggling and you don't even know where to get the leads in the first place or what to say or anything to do with sales, I always recommend you might as well talk to someone like myself. Yes, it's going to cost you a bit of money, but how much money is worth setting up your entire sales system, and you know that I'm going to know what to do, and every day I'm just going to wake up to execute this thing. I always tell people that, man, don't even bother coming up with your own system. Copy what has worked, and if it has proven to show that, man, this has been done and here's how we've done it and these are the results that we've got hundreds of millions, then deploy it. So for those of you that need assistance, we could help you set up the entire system. How do we get the leads? What do we say? How do we train your people on the phone conversations? How do we manage meetings? So that's the first way we can be in position to help. The second way that we can help is, of course, through trainings. We do a lot of training. Like I said, we have one-on-one trainings. We have trainings with teams. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, and as an example, there are some people I meet and the guy says, to be honest, I'm an IT guy. I have never sold, but I know that if I don't sell, I'm not going to, my IT skill is useless because I'm not going to have the people to talk to. So this will also allow you to be able to level up your skills and know what to do. The advantage with this is the sales training is relatively affordable. For the people here, you won't even need to pay me more than 500,000. We'll be able to do everything for you. For setting up the systems, because there's a lot of back and forth and helping you train up the system, set up everything. I have a discount that will work for you guys. That is, if you need, you can feel free to reach out to me on WhatsApp. We'll be in position to help you. And then finally, the last way we can be in position to help you, keep in mind that we have a sales software that automates everything selling for you. The software is called Tremby, where you will literally log into the system and just instruct it of, you know what, as an example, I want to sell to people who stay in Tinder, or I want to sell to people who are interested in technology, or I'm looking for doctors. I want to sell to them something. It will literally look for the doctors for you. It will use your WhatsApp to message them for you, pick for you their contacts, do everything for you. Message them, follow up, whatever your sales people would have been doing. The AI would be in position to do everything for you. The only thing it would leave for you is in the scenario that someone has responded. That's what it would leave for you. Deal with the people that have responded, but everything else in sales, in the sales process, it would work very, very well for you. And for that, it's even more affordable. You end up paying less than 350,000 shillings. So yes, in a nutshell, on our side, what we did was just one thing: build the trust. We all can sell. We all can get leads, we all can convert. Those two are easy. In fact, for many of you, I'm sure if I got the lead and brought them to your desk right now, you would be able to convince them. But if we added just two extra layers, one layer of how do I nurture my leads to get them to trust me, so that by the time we have the meeting, the guy is already 90%, I would guarantee you they would be willing to spend more money on you than they would have if they've just met you for the first time and it's you sitting across the table trying to convince them to take your solutions. So for our case, it has done wonders. Like I said, nowadays you talk to someone and even before your conversation has started, the guy is like, I already have the money. But the only thing that we have changed, because our schedule is the same. We call from 9 to 5. We have meetings from midday. We call from 9 to 11, then we have meetings from midday to about 3, then we enter CRM data. Like nothing has changed. The only thing that we changed is just how do you automate trust building? And the simple solution is understand your journeys with your customer and have a marketing automation tool do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Sending out the communication, it will work wonders. Ironically, if any of you today decided to go out there and just send 50 messages to prospective customers today, just on your WhatsApp, you would see something would happen. Someone would say, I was thinking about you, I was planning on calling you, but it's triggered from you going ahead and taking that effort to reach out to the person, to the people. Even if you just checked on them and said, hey, hello, sir, I was just checking on you. It's that simple. Something would give. Sales is get the people, communicate, keep in touch with relevant information. And the best way to do that is by just automating the process. And once we deployed it on our side, the wonders we saw were different. Our average checkout moved from 500K. Our average checkout is literally now 3 million. So What that means is back then, we used to sell 500,000 shillings, and right now with the same numbers, we are putting numbers of $100,000, meaning the revenue is a lot more than what we had back then. Huh? But all that has just stemmed from let's build the trust. It has shown to work. The bigger corporations have done it. Why not deploy it for yourself as well? So in a nutshell, that is all from me today. I don't know if anyone has any questions. Let me just check and see if we have any questions here. Yes, I'm seeing quite a number of questions about the video recordings. Yes, I can see. Yes, this video is going to be recorded, so it will be made available. Someone has also asked a question here about the seven ways to get sales for your business. And I'm going to go ahead, just drop me a WhatsApp. I'm going to share the link with the full detailed video. And for those that have missed this, I'm still going to record the webinar and make it available on our YouTube channel. So if you filled in the form earlier, I should send that to you automatically. But yes, thank you to everyone that has attended this meeting. I know it has taken almost an hour. So yes, I'll give it a minute, and for whoever is still here who has any questions, I will use that minute to respond. Okay, yes, I can see Baristo here. You're saying you want the video. I'm going to go ahead and send it to you, Baristo. Even Timothy, I'll send it to you as well. Yes, yeah, let me just give it a minute. Thank you so much for everyone that has been able to attend this. For anyone that needs help, anything else, I've done this so much. We've done this so much for so many people. So please just drop me a message, drop me a WhatsApp. We'll be in position to help you, not just with the softwares that you need, but with the training and the knowledge that you need to make sure that you're making more money as a business owner. But bye-bye for now. All right, bye-bye.